Okay, so you want to own a laundromat, and you already know the pitch because the internet has been selling it to you for years. It's the ultimate passive income machine. People will always have dirty clothes, in a boom or in a recession, so demand never dies. The customers pay you in cash, upfront, before a single sock gets washed. There's no inventory to spoil, no product to go out of style, and the machines basically run themselves while you sit at home. It's the small business you can supposedly own without really working. Around 95% of them are still standing after 5 years, in a country where most small businesses are dead by then. It sounds like the closest thing to free money in America. So, here's the first thing nobody in those YouTube videos wants to tell you. The man they all quote as proof, the guy who literally calls himself the Laundromat Millionaire, will tell you to your face that it is not passive income. And he's right. You're not buying a passive business, you're buying a coin-operated utility company, and the water bill is coming for you. By the end of this video, you will understand why the passive income laundromat is one of the most misunderstood businesses in America and where the money actually hides. You will understand why the single biggest threat to your profit isn't a competitor, it's your local water utility. You will understand why the real fortune in this business was never the washing machines at all. You will understand how a business this boring got permanently tangled up with Al Capone and the American Mafia. And you will understand why the smartest operators are quietly ripping the coin slots out of every machine they own. Let's start with what it costs to get in, because this is where the cheap side hustle fantasy meets a wall. Operating a laundromat in the United States typically runs somewhere between $200,000 and $500,000, and in expensive markets, it can climb past $1 million. Where does that money go? Almost none of it is in the building, it's the machines. A single commercial washer or dryer can cost thousands of dollars, and a real laundromat needs dozens of them. Banks of front-load washers, giant 60 and 80-pound machines, rows of dryers, all commercial grade, all bought at once, before you've earned $1. Then comes the part that quietly decides whether you live or die, the build-out. Because a laundromat is not really a store, it's an industrial water processing facility disguised as a storefront. You need the plumbing to move enormous volumes of water, the gas lines to heat it, the electrical service to run the whole bank of machines at once, and the drainage to get all that water back out. That infrastructure is why you can't just move a laundromat when the lease goes bad. Once you've spent 6 figures wiring a specific building for water, and gas, and power, you are married to that address. And that single fact that a laundromat physically cannot move turns out to be the most important thing about the entire business. Now, let's talk about what it actually earns, because the headline numbers are seductive, and the real ones are more complicated. The average American laundromat generates somewhere in the range of $150,000 to $300,000 a year in revenue, and the industry loves to advertise profit margins of 20 to 35%. On paper, that's fantastic. A business throwing off cash with a 95% survival rate, run mostly by machines. But look closer at where that revenue comes from. You are selling one of the cheapest services in the entire economy. A wash costs the customer somewhere between about $1.50 and $4. That's it. To build a $200,000 a year business, one $4 wash at a time, you need enormous, relentless volume, thousands upon thousands of cycles a month, which means your machines are running constantly, and everything that runs constantly breaks constantly. The revenue isn't the whole story. The story is what eats it. And these machines eat hard. A commercial washer runs a wash cycle every 30 to 45 minutes, all day, for 10 to 15 years, doing the work of maybe 50 home machines. Bearings wear out, water valves fail, coin mechanisms jam, drain pumps clog with lint and lost socks. A single big front-load washer can cost thousands to replace, and when one goes down, it's not just a repair bill. It's dead floor space earning nothing, while the ones next to it keep grinding. Downtime is lost revenue you can never get back. Because the customer who needed that machine at 7 p.m. on a Sunday isn't coming back Monday to make it up. And the thing that eats it is not what you'd guess. It's not labor, because a self-service laundromat barely has any. It's not rent, though rent hurts. The two costs that quietly determine whether a laundromat is a goldmine or a trap are water and energy, the utilities. Every single wash you sell, you first have to buy the water going in, the gas to heat it, the electricity to spin and dry it. Your customer pays you $3 or $4, but a chunk of that was already spoken for by the water district and the power company before the machine even started. This is the gas station shape all over again. Remember, the gas station makes almost nothing on the fuel. It survives on the store. The laundromat has the same problem, except its fuel is water and heat, and it has no candy aisle to save it. So when your city raises water rates, and American water rates have been climbing for years, it comes straight out of your margin. You often can't raise your prices fast enough to match because your customers are, by the demographics of this business, some of the most price-sensitive people in the country. Renters, students, working families, households where the median income hovers around $30,000. You are running a high-volume, low-margin utility business, selling to people who count quarters, while your single biggest supplier, the water utility, is a monopoly that can raise your costs whenever it likes, and you cannot say no. That's not passive income. That's a fixed-price contract with a monopoly on the other side. So how does anyone actually get rich doing this? Here's the reveal, and it changes the whole business. The smart money in laundromats was never really about the laundry. It's about the real estate. Remember that a laundromat physically cannot move, that it's welded to its building by all that plumbing and gas and power. That's what makes it what commercial landlords call the perfect anchor tenant. A business that will almost never leave, that pays rent like clockwork, that keeps a strip mall occupied for decades. And the operators who build actual wealth in this industry figured out the move a long time ago. They don't just run the laundromat, they buy the building the laundromat sits in. Now the machines aren't the asset anymore. They're just the thing that reliably pays the mortgage on a piece of commercial property that appreciates for 30 years. The Laundromat Millionaire himself, an Ohio operator named Dave Menz, points to exactly this. The cash flow from the machines is nice, but the real long-term wealth comes from owning the dirt underneath. The washing machines were never the business. They were the tenant that pays you to own the building. That is the trick the passive income gurus bury in the fine print. The laundromat isn't the investment, it's the excuse to make the real investment. And once you see the business that way, the rest of the model rearranges itself around it. The machines pay the mortgage. Everything else you bolt on is pure margin. Vending machines selling detergent and snacks, a wash and fold service where you charge by the pound and the labor is cheap, pickup and delivery for people who will pay a premium to never set foot in the place. Even the empty wall space becomes ad space. The self-service washers are just the anchor that guarantees the foot traffic. The profit gets stacked on top of it. At margins the $3 wash could never touch, and because a laundromat runs on systems rather than a single owner's presence, the operators who crack this don't stop at one. They buy a second store, a third, a 10th, each one anchoring another building they own, until the small passive side hustle has quietly become a real estate portfolio with a laundry brand stapled to the front. Which brings us to the other thing this business is famous for, and it's not clean laundry, it's dirty money. Ask almost anyone where the term money laundering comes from, and they'll tell you the same story, that Al Capone and the American Mafia bought up laundromats in the 1920s because they were all cash businesses and mixed their illegal fortunes in with the quarters, making the dirty money look like legitimate laundry income. Cash flowing in all day, impossible to trace, no receipts, no customer names, the perfect washing machine for money as well as clothes. Now, historians will tell you this specific origin story is probably a myth, that the phrase came later. But the reason the legend is so sticky, the reason it feels true, is that the underlying logic is completely real. A cash-only business with thousands of tiny, untraceable transactions and no way to verify how many actually happened is a genuinely excellent place to hide money, which is exactly why cash-intensive businesses remain a money laundering tool to this day. And that is not just a fun piece of trivia. It points directly at the biggest weakness in the traditional laundromat, the thing that has haunted every coin-operated store since Capone's era, the cash itself. Because cash is the problem, not the feature. Think about what all cash actually means for you as an owner. It means someone, probably you, has to physically drive to the store, open every machine, and haul out buckets of quarters several times a week, forever. It means you can be robbed. It means your own attendants can skim, pocketing coins with no paper trail, and you'll never be able to prove it. Because a coin box doesn't issue receipts, it means you'll have almost no real data. You don't actually know which machines run when, which customers come back, or what your true revenue is on any given day. The cash that makes the business feel simple is the exact thing that makes it impossible to manage, scale, or trust. For decades, that was just the cost of being in the laundry business. And then the technology finally changed, and the smartest operators did something that would have horrified Al Capone. They ripped the coins out. That's the quiet revolution happening in American laundromats right now. And it's the whole future of the business. The modern operators are going cashless. Tap-to-pay card readers, mobile apps, loyalty programs, machines that text you when your wash is done. The moment you do that, everything that was broken about the coin model flips. No more driving around collecting quarters, no more skimming, because every dollar is tracked. Suddenly you have data. You know your busiest hours, your best machines, your repeat customers, and you can raise prices intelligently instead of guessing. You can run the whole store from your phone. Cashless laundromats consistently out-earn their coin-only neighbors, and they finally deliver something close to the flexibility the passive income dream always promised, not because the machines got smarter, but because the money did. The coin slot, the single most iconic feature of the American laundromat, the thing that gave money laundering its name, is being deliberately engineered out of existence. The business is being unlaundered. So, step back and look at what you'd actually be buying. Not a passive income machine, but a high-volume, low-margin utility company selling $3 washes to the most price-sensitive customers in America, welded permanently to a single building at the mercy of a water monopoly that can raise your costs at will. A business where the real wealth was never the washers, but the real estate they anchor. A business whose entire cultural mythology is built on hiding cash and whose entire future depends on getting rid of it. The 95% survival rate is real, but it survives because it's essential and immovable, not because it's easy, and definitely not because it's passive. There are somewhere around 18,000 to 30,000 laundromats in America right now, quietly moving billions of gallons of water and billions of dollars a year, most of them still owned by regular people chasing a passive income dream that the business quietly refuses to deliver. The washing machines were never the asset. The building was. The water bill is the real competitor. The cash was always the weakness, not the strength. And the operators who understand that the laundromat is really a real estate play, wearing a utility company's clothes, are buying up the dirt, going cashless, and building exactly the kind of quiet fortune that made laundromat a byword for clean money in the first place. You decide.